basking in the Arizona sunshine, the fresh air, the desert environment. This episode of The Traveling Golfer comes to you from the Tucson area. Our base of operations, the Casino del Sol Resort. And this is an amazing property on the Pascoyaqui Tribe Nation, which has its own golf course here too. Sewelo, one of 4 golf courses we're going to bring you from this exciting edition of The Traveling Golfer.
One moment changes everything. Distance, precision, decided in a microsecond. So reduce your ball spin and get the most performance at impact with 4 yards more. A next-gen golf tee proven by pros and players like you. The unique durable design flexes at contact, reducing ball spin, giving you tighter control and more distance. So change your game and get 4 yards more. Brought to you by Greenkeepers. Golf smart.
It screams. It tracks. It's soft. It reacts. It is the Bridgestone Tour B with a game-changing reactive cover designed to spring faster off your driver and stick longer to your wedges. Try Bridgestone's Tour Bs, the Tour Ball reinvented.
Golfers, we're different. We aren't afraid to go for it. We're dedicated. And we never stop. Not every place gets us, but one does. Myrtle Beach, 78 courses, 60 miles of beach. You could say we were made for each other. The beach gets golfers. Golfers get the beach. Book your Myrtle Beach golf getaway today.
At Yuengling, we've been brewing great beer that brings people together for nearly 2 centuries. Wherever good times happen, Yuengling Traditional Lager has been there and will be for the next round. Yuengling, to good times ahead.
Randolph North, part of the City of Tucson Municipal Golf Complex, built in 1924, and it stood the test of time. Reason? Well, it's a beautiful mountain setting. Even though many of the older courses in Arizona were flat desert courses, you'll see that this is quite different. The elevation changes, the mountain setting, all make it something special in the state of Arizona. And the variety of holes and their challenges is one reason the LPGA staged an event here for many years. They're fortunate enough to have 36 holes at the Tucson Municipal Golf Facility. Complementing the Randolph course is the Del Uric course. There's plenty of elevation changes, and the mounding, which defines the routing of the course, is pronounced, especially as you approach the greens. There are beautiful water features throughout, and as is the case at a municipal layout, walking is always allowed. Again, a municipal layout, but don't let the term muni fool you. This is one of the finest municipal golf courses you could ever play. The Westin La Paloma Country Club and Resort has been a staple of the Tucson golf scene since 1986. Club, the spa, 9, 9, and 9, wedged into the mountains, the Santa Catalina Mountains, all along the foothills. And believe me, there are 3 different challenges here: the hill, the ridge, and the canyon. Especially the canyon, really a rugged piece of property, typical of many Jack Nicklaus designed golf courses. The greens can have a lot of challenge, a lot of severe slopes, and behind the greens and around it, there's a lot of mounding, which may bounce a few of your balls back into good position. But if it doesn't, you'll be chipping from some different lies that'll make it a very tough task to make that par. Believe me, it is an eye-popping, exhilarating ride through the foothills. In between the saguaro cactus, they're even tough. So last thought when you come out to play this great golf course, TEC, take enough club. You don't want to be in those barrancas and in the ditches in front of the greens or around to the sides. It'll be a long day for you. The rest of the time is pure enjoyment. In my book, the big red A in the background stands for awesome, because that's the only way to describe this golf course, built by Robert Trent Jones II, originally named the Raven at Sabino Springs, now Arizona National, after a wonderful renovation that has made this course the ultimate signature of desert golf. The slope here at Arizona National is high for good reason. There's a lot of visual intimidation out on this golf course. You need to commit to shots, stay in the corridors, don't look at all of the distractions and cactus and rocks and boulders on the sides. Look at those fairways and hit them. They're green, they're wide, they're beautiful. Plenty of room to play this golf course. Nota Begay is no longer on the PGA Tour, but he's making a name for himself as a broadcaster and a golf architect. When the Casino del Sol decided to include a golf course as an addition to the property, Nota Begay jumped at the chance to design a layout that included not only his expertise in golf, but also his heritage as a Native American.
Well, it's special because I think that it incorporates all the things that are important to me, which is it serves the community, incorporates the cultural identity, the history and tradition of the Pasquayaki people, and in the name Sewalo. You start in the lush, flowery, green areas, you return to the desert, and then work your way back into the lush, flowery, green areas. And the water speaks for itself. It's just, the whole thing comes full circle, talks about the circle of life and just how things come and go because the land was so flat. The most challenging thing was to be able to do that, create variety, create unique looking holes that would stay in a person's memory. I think that there's going to be 6 or 7 holes that every player will walk off remembering, knowing that those were holes that made an impression on them. I think that you can do a lot with angling hazards, angling bunkers, proper positioning of bunkers to challenge the elite level golfer. And then you just minimize those challenges as you work your way back. There were some hard holes, but there were also some easy holes where I think every level of golfer will be able to say, I had a chance to make a couple birdies today. They truly got a chance to experience just a little bit more than a round of golf. They're getting an introduction into sort of the cultural traditions of the Pasquayaki people and hopefully walk away with a little bit of a better understanding of Native American people.
Tech Talk with Dave Glod, founder, president, Tour Edge Golf. You've put a lot of information out over the years. The golf geeks have to be getting back to you a lot and saying, here's what we like about Tour Edge. What is it?
I think the underlying factor is, the continued great quality and performance, but it's such a value. And they go, it only costs $200, really? And so that's wonderful because that's that's our niche in that mid price point. So you get a great value, as good a product as anybody out there, but sometimes half the price.
The golf public has been hit with a lot of high costs, and they talk about the high costs. You're giving them an answer. That's our Tech Talk for this week on The Traveling Golfer.
Vibracore?
Vibracore.
Vibracore. That's pretty cool.
It's injected? It's injected.
Vibracore. I feel the vibe. I'm feeling it.
So what is it?
The best feeling and longest times you'll ever hit.
Was that Bernhard? Oh, great. Langer.
You know why I play Tour Edge? Because I win with it.
Pound for pound, nothing comes close.
Desert golf. Tucson is only one of the many eye-popping locations for those who like to try and hit the little white ball on the emerald green fairways in between the cactus and the tumbleweeds. Another is Mesquite, Nevada. Not only does it provide some of the greatest desert golf in the entire country, but it provides it at an affordable price. Traveling Golfer has loved the trips to Mesquite, Nevada, and guarantee that you will too. Executive Director of Golf Mesquite, Cody Law. Cody, welcome to the Traveling Golfer. Mesquite, 1 hour outside of Las Vegas, has all of the great golf without the congestion of Las Vegas. It makes it so easy and so close, unless you want to take a ride to Utah and play one of the great courses in America, Sand Hollow.
Well, that's been our niche for years. With Golf Mesquite, we've got 7 beautiful championship resort courses, all within 2 miles of each other.
So Oasis is virtually around the corner, but you've got wonderful other golf courses, and one of the ones that I thought was so well planned was Coyote Springs, which is right on the way from the airport to Mesquite.
Yeah, a lot of our groups that fly into Vegas from the Midwest and from the East and the Southeast, that is their stop on the way in. It's a Nicklaus course. It's literally out in the middle of nowhere, but it's a beautiful design. You know, it's got the Nicklaus moguls throughout the fairways, the finger-like bunkers around the greens, and it's a tough enough track to test anyone.
The strategic layout of it was outstanding, and then you get to these greens, and those greens are very severe, to say the least.
There's a lot of undulation, brutal pin placements.
On top of the strategic layout at Coyote Springs, they have some great water features that Jack Nicklaus put in as eye candy to dress it up.
Yeah, once you finish hole 9 or hole 18, if you look back up towards the course, you've got 3 cascades of waterfalls coming all the way down the last few holes, and it's great. It's fun to play.
Now you have 36 holes here at Oasis, but literally just right around the corner is Falcon Ridge, which is an acclaimed golf course, and I met a group of golfers who've been coming here from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania for 10 years, so they knew the Traveling Golfer, knew our sister show, Golf Talk Live Radio, and right away they said to me, shh, don't tell anybody about this place, we love it here. And their favorite course is Falcon Ridge.
Well, Falcon Ridge, I tend to be a little bit biased towards that because that's where I started in the golf industry. I actually started as a valet there 10 years ago.
The canyons of the Mesquite area are a topographical feature visitors never forget. At Falcon Ridge Golf Club, they'll be playing over, around, and through those canyons. There are elevation changes of 200 feet from green to tee or green to fairway. And all of it winds through this roller coaster ride of a golf course. And don't forget to top off your day with a post-round drink from the grill room atop Falcon Ridge, and an even more amazing view from the patio. Well, when I came into the desert, I said I needed someone to show me the way. He's been showing me the way on golf courses for years. Ed Sheeran, acclaimed golf course architect from the Philadelphia area, now in the desert, here at the Oasis Golf Club in Mesquite, Nevada, and all the other golf courses. Ed, welcome to the desert.
Well, it's great to be here.
Yeah, and I'm sure you look at these golf trips a little differently than the usual player coming out. There's part of you playing and the other part of you taking a note here and there, dissecting the golf courses. What did you see this week?
Well, the natural features that you had here were just spectacular. The canyons, the bluffs. I mean, we're 50, 60, 70 miles from the start of the Grand Canyon, which is one of the most preeminently beautiful places in the United States, if not the world.
That's right over the Virgin Mountains. Behind us, right over the other side, is the north rim of the Grand Canyon.
That's right. And then the artistry really was situating a golf course in that kind of terrain. And they did a great job here.
Yeah. You know, when you see that, you say to yourself, it's such rugged property. I think a lot of engineering has to go into building a golf course here, correct?
Absolutely. If you didn't have modern earth-moving equipment, you wouldn't have a chance out here. But, you know, in the last 50 years with big caterpillars and engineering, you can fit them in, and it's a tremendous opportunity for golfers to come out here and experience really dramatic golf. As an architect, what you really want to have is a unique palette to work with. And I'm actually jealous of architects here because everything is just so dramatic that when the average golfer comes out here, the wow factor is so incredible that even though they're as strategic as a golf course in a more mundane setting, the differential really is the natural settings that they have out here.
Well, if Ed Sheeran, acclaimed golf course architect, gets wowed, you can imagine what regular Joe golfer does when he comes to Mesquite, Nevada. Put on your seatbelts. It's an experience you'll never forget.
You don't have to go away to get away. Go and explore. Find the small businesses that make where you live a community. When you dine, choose homemade. On a free weekend, discover the great outdoors. And if it's brewed here, enjoy it with friends. Support small for an experience you won't find anywhere else. Make it local, make it Main Street, make it Modco.
Tucson's a community of about 1 million people when you take a look at the metro area. There's so much to be able to see and do here as well. Certainly outdoor adventure recreation. People come here for the desert. They love to be able to hike and cycle, really to be active. And we talk about this whole concept of free yourself, and that's what people come here to do. We get visitors from throughout the world. Our top feeder markets are some of the largest cities in the United States. So people come here really to escape, rejuvenate, and Tucson offers that opportunity in a variety of ways. A lot of people think of Tucson in terms of the Old West, and so when they come here, they're going to go to places like Old Tucson, for example. Tombstone is just about an hour and a half away. So that chance to really kind of see and experience that 1880s Old West culture, that's something that people really enjoy. I think when folks come here today, they're really looking at things like golf. We've got some destination spas that people come from throughout the world to visit. And then they'll also go to places like the Arizona Sonora Desert Museum. It's one of the top ranked combined botanical gardens and zoos in the world. And just being able to get out and see even some of the past here as well in terms of the Pima Air and Space Museum. The plane that flew the hostages back from Iran is at the Pima Air and Space Museum, along with many other aircraft. We certainly have the Titan Missile Museum too from the Cold War era, so you can actually see what one of those missiles looks like. So a lot to see and do, but from our standpoint as well, golf is really a preeminent attraction. It's really a nice mix. So if people are coming here on a budget, we have some of the top municipal courses that you're going to find in any area here as well through Tucson City Golf. But we also have a lot of really strong daily fee courses. Places like Golf Club at Dove Mountain, that's where the Accenture Match Play was played. Omni Tucson National, a really nice resort course. And then we now have a Champions Tour event that will be played there as well. We have the newest course in Arizona, Sewilo Golf Club. Really a very nice course. It's starting to mature. Sewilo means flower. When you get out there, you certainly see that the flowers and other kind of flora and fauna abound out there as well. So really a nice mixture when it comes to golf. Tucson's really very easy to explore. When you get here, there's so much to be able to see and do. The mountains are really a preeminent factor, and then also just taking a look at some of that desert. So many hiking trails. If you want to get out and really explore an area that's very different than maybe where you're from, flora, the fauna, and the desert, it's really a great place to visit.
Indian casinos and resorts across the country have been developed in a number of different ways. Casino del Sol Resort was developed by the Pasquayaqui tribe in a number of stages.
Going back to the late 1970s is when the tribe was first recognized. So following that, you'll know that across the country, bingo started showing up on tribal lands across the country, and this was one of the first tribes in the state of Arizona to add bingo. And the original location for bingo is about a mile away from here, and it doesn't look quite like the resort does. So following that, we built a new casino. We added an outdoor amphitheater, over 5,000 seats, and 3 years ago we were able to put up our brand new hotel tower, including all the conference facilities that we have, the parking, and this beautiful pool area that we have behind me here. And then of course we added golf course, spa, a lot of other facilities as well. So we're a casino with a resort, not a resort with a casino. So we always have our baseline that we start, and we wanted to put something together that they would be appreciative of and would appeal to them. So that's our starting point. But then you look at what's going on in Tucson, and there hasn't been anything new built outside of us in a very long time. So we felt like we could raise the bar in Tucson and give us something that would compete with the resorts in Phoenix and not have to a customer doesn't have to pay as much money, whether they want a $5 burger in Moby's or a $30 steak in PY. We have to make sure that we give them good value and great quality, and that's where our focus is. The technology that you'll find here is on par. I would say we're ahead of 90% of the casinos in Las Vegas. We have to be, because our customers see us 10, 11 times a month. They demand the newest and the greatest, and that's how we differentiate ourselves from other casinos in a local market, is by giving them the best games, the best technology, being reactive to what it is that they're looking for, and then we teach them how to play these games, and then they go to Las Vegas looking for them, and oftentimes not finding them, because they haven't put the same amount of money into the games that we have.
The most difficult part of the Traveling Golfer Show is when it's time to say goodbye. In this case, we say adios. From the Tucson area, what a great golf trip. The spectacular Casino del Sol Resort, 4 amazing golf courses with splendid views of the mountains and the desert, and in addition, a cultural experience that's hard to find anywhere else in America. All of this put together brings a bit of a different Arizona golf experience to people who like to travel and play golf. Nobody likes it more than the traveling golfer. Thanks for being with us in Tucson.